Hey, it's Nick! We're playing Ziggurat 2. This is an early access game. Ed recently purchased this title, and we are really excited to get involved with Ziggurat 2 right now. Ed's going to show it to us, and he's going to show us the way of Ziggurat 2. This is going to be really entertaining for you. It's going to be way more entertaining than H3H3 or any other YouTube channel or podcast or LP channel that you could imagine watching.
The call out.
Do you understand me, Ed? We're better than Dan's Gaming.
All right. I mean,
coming up on this episode of Game Soup, we're going to be talking about your death.
What?
A recent donation that I made. A rescuing of a small animal that I found in my yard. And a vivid hallucination that was recently had by Joe of Game Soup.
Oh my god.
All this and more in this episode of Game Soup Plays Ziggurat 2. A wild game appears, Ziggurat 2.
Am I allowed to talk now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Tell us about the game.
It's Ziggurat 2. If you played Ziggurat 1...
Oh, sorry, I forgot that I told you before the episode that you were only allowed to speak when spoken to. That was a joke. You're allowed to speak as much as you would like, Ed.
Because I did actually follow your instructions. I actually did not speak at all. Well, I tried not to, but you know me. So it's Ziggurat 2, which is just like Ziggurat 1. Ziggurat 1 was awesome. It was like this lesser-known game, I guess. It's a roguelike, but in a first-person shooter, like a Doom.
Yeah.
It's like a Doom arena-style game. Yeah.
I remember either you played it or I played it briefly at your house or something.
I played it and I loved the crap out of it. It is really fun. And it's a genre that I'm not particularly good at, but it's also a genre that you don't see done a lot in roguelikes or roguelites with a T.
Yeah, first person.
Yeah.
Roguelike, yeah.
First person.
This is like the only one I can think of that is somewhat mainstream.
And the company, Milkstone, they've made a couple other games since, I think Ziggurat 1 was their first game. They've made several others since, and they're coming back to this, which is cool, because I didn't think we'd ever see more of this this universe, I guess you could call it. I don't know.
Did we play this on the channel?
We might have. Does it look familiar to you?
Somewhat. I forget if we played it on the channel or if I just played it over here for briefly and we didn't actually make an episode of it. I really can't remember. We've made hundreds and hundreds of episodes of Game Soup. We might have 700 episodes by now. I don't know.
Wow.
I think we might. We might be closing in on 700.
It's
we just recently finished our longest episode ever. It was called Spelunky 2. Game Soup finally beat Spelunky 2.
Yeah, we actually don't know how long it is yet, but what did we say, 7 hours or so?
Yeah, when we edited it down. Yeah, my guess was that it's going to be 7.5 hours after it's complete.
Yeah.
After it's rendered. So you guys can look forward to that. We weren't drinking at all during the making of that episode.
No. But there are a lot of things that this game does awesomely. It's really, so far it's an early access, so far it's mostly the same as the first game mechanically. You're basically just going from room to room. Some rooms are arena rooms where you have to fight enemies to get out. Some are puzzle rooms, some are like gauntlet rooms. And some are just transition rooms like this. There's nothing in here.
Kind of Enter the Gungeon?
Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison, yeah. But I really like the weapon system in this game. You have your default, I guess you would call this your pistol in any other game, like your weapon that has infinite ammo, right?
Yeah.
But it recharges, and then you have any number of other different kinds of weapons. Like we have this crossbow, and that requires mana, which on the right side there, you can see we have 3 other kinds of weapons in addition to the basic wand.
Is that like different colors of mana?
Yeah, different colors of energy, basically.
Okay, so it's different kind of ammo.
Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what links them all together. Like, I don't know what links all blue weapons together and what links all yellow weapons together. But okay, let's try this. So, just like any roguelike, it has a lot of random elements. So I don't know what's going to happen here.
Shrines, you might as well.
That's
another staple. Divine knowledge plus 10% more experience from crystals.
Sure.
That's good to get early on. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
As an early blessing.
But man, this
game
is hard.
Do you take fall damage? No.
No.
That's nice.
I do take lava damage, though.
That's nice.
I think my favorite thing about this game, and it was the same with the first one, is the speed, the insane speed that you move
it's like Doom
through
speed. It's like Doom speed. This might be faster, actually. It's hard to top the original Dooms.
I think if the game were any slower, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. Like, it's not just straight linear, like if it's this fast, it's fun. If it's 10 times faster, it's 10 times more fun. It's like 100 times more fun when it's this fast, because you're just zooming around these rooms, and you feel like a god when you're like circle strafing a guy and you finally knock him down. You know, But man, is it hard because of that, because everyone else is also fast.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to balance it somehow. When you give the player super speed and super powers,
Yeah.
you got to make the game hard somehow. Make it some kind of a challenge. Unless you're one of those kids that just really likes to win, and you just like using all the cheat codes, and
Yeah.
you don't really play the games. Remember that? There was always that kid who just didn't like video games. He just liked winning, and he didn't care. He didn't care about learning anything. He didn't care about gaining any accomplishment. I wonder where that kid is now.
He's a politician now.
Tyler.
Oh, you were actually referring to a person.
Yeah, no, not your Tyler.
Oh,
it was just another Tyler I knew.
Generic Tyler,
Yeah.
you mean. Okay.
Actually, yeah, it was a generic Tyler. I didn't really know anybody named Tyler besides Ed's friend Tyler when we were kids. I was just picking a generic name,
yeah.
actually.
Not anymore, man. Now the names are like not Jerry. Jaden,
Yeah.
Aiden,
Xavier.
Bladen. Oh,
Bladen,
we
yeah.
picked up the boss key. We haven't found the boss room yet, but each floor... This is a single floor dungeon, by the way. The boss room is probably around here somewhere. Once we kill the boss, we'll leave this dungeon. There's a ton of upgrades to get. Stuff that we haven't seen yet. New weapons, new perks, and everything gains experience, because that's what games are now. Sorry, anyway. Connor.
I bet in the Midwest there's still a lot of mics and gyms.
Yeah, probably. Those are really old now, those names,
Yeah.
right? Like, what else is trendy right now? Like Bella, Madison. I can't think, but you know, they go in cycles. Names like that.
Yes, evolution of all types is cyclical, not linear.
Oh boy, here we
Always
go.
remember that.
Oh, that's a boss or mini boss, I guess.
Well, he's golden.
Shielding.
He had shielding. He didn't seem to have much shielding. that was a misnomer.
He should have thought of that.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah, heard of a misnomer? I have heard of a misnomer. Oh, what also is cool is that each weapon has 2 firing modes. So you have your, let's see, you have your regular attack, which you just hold down left mouse, but if you right mouse, every weapon has a second mode that is better suited to a certain situation. Like this one, I guess, just does a burst. So if you're close to an enemy...
Yeah, 3 real quick ones.
So that's always really nice.
Actually, just seems better.
Yeah, but well, let's see. What does it take to do one regular shot? It takes 8, and then to do a triple shot, it takes 6. How can that be? Is that possible? No, that can't be right. Oh god, I'm getting killed here.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We don't need to worry about the minute details
But
of
you
the
know,
balancing in this
yeah,
game.
just assume it's balanced somehow. You can look at the... Oops. Ooh, friendly fire immunity, resistance to elemental damage by 5%. You can look at the character sheet, and it does give you like a rough description here. Magical pellets, that's the basic attack. There's also the 3 pellets. It doesn't talk about their mana costs, though, so who knows? It's a mystery. But god, we're going to play this all night. This is such a fun game. I think I bought it yesterday or the day before, and I put like a couple hours into it. And I loved Ziggurat 1, man. And this is already shaping up to be just as good. It's got the same enemies, too. These crazy carrots.
Are they chili peppers?
No, they're carrots.
No, they're chili peppers.
No.
They're red. Those are chili peppers.
Oh, they
Ed.
are chili peppers.
Those are not carrots. I've never seen a carrot of that tone.
Alright, well, they're a variation on that carrot
And they
enemy.
explode.
Yeah, which...
That
okay.
would suit a chili pepper more because a chili pepper is hot.
I thought they were just explosive carrots.
Have you ever heard of a band called the Hot Chili Peppers?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they're called the Hot Chili Peppers, because they're explosive.
Oh, that's why? Because they're explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Have I told you that? I did tell you this. I started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Most of the enemies in that series are either based off of popular bands or just straight up ripped from popular bands. There was an enemy called Red Hot Chili Pepper. And one of the main characters was called Robert Speedwagon, which I don't know if anything about this, but apparently there was a band that was called Speedwagon, which was based on a car called Speedwagon from like the 50s.
Yeah.
And they just named a character Speedwagon.
Yeah.
It is the dumbest name, and I love
Pretty
it.
reasonable. It's kind of the same Guilty Gear did that too.
Oh yeah.
It was all heavy metal references. Yeah.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
All right.
I remember. Well, Melia Rage was my favorite character in the game, and then I found out that she was named after a band called Melia Rage,
No.
which is like an '80s heavy metal band. And I found the tape at a flea market, so I bought the tape.
Oh yeah.
Right. It had to be good, right? Because it's named. My favorite character is named after it.
Uh-oh.
And then I listened to the tape. I didn't really like it.
Oh no, that's too bad.
But yeah, they're everything in the game. Testament. That's one of the characters.
Wow.
That's a heavy metal band.
I didn't know that.
And a lot of the attacks, like Kai, he has his super is Ride the Lightning. That's a pretty classic heavy metal reference to an ancient Metallica song.
Ancient. I started listening to heavy rock tracks again. Found a playlist on YouTube. It might be my favorite soundtrack. It might be the best soundtrack.
It's one of the best, yeah. It's probably still in my top 10.
Yeah.
I would say Guilty Gear XX perfected it because it was real instruments.
Yeah.
With with the original Guilty Gear X heavy rock tracks, it had the
fake drums.
the fake drums.
Yeah. I don't mind that though.
They remixed it in Guilty Gear XX.
It's not terrible. It's noticeable, but it's not like. But they're so crisp when they're fake, you know. Like there's hardly any reverb. It just everything sounds so crisp when it's. Oops, what did I just choose? A weapon chosen at random will deal 10% more damage. We're gonna go with health.
Sadly, a lot of the new Guilty Gear music has lyrics to it.
Ew.
It's not good.
Is it?
I mean, it's fine, but it's definitely worse.
Yeah.
It's definitely far worse.
Why do they do that?
It's not something I'm going to blast in my car while I'm driving around. Like
No.
I had Guilty Gear X heavy rock tracks in my car for probably a year straight. I would drive through my neighborhood blasting blasting Kai's theme.
It's great, isn't it? That's unfortunate. Why is it the same composer? He just thinks that lyrics are written now.
It's still Daisuke.
Does
Daisuke Ishiwatari, yeah.
Does he know that songs without lyrics are better?
Yeah, for video games, I
yeah.
definitely think so.
Yeah, actually, that's a rough one, man. Because songs with lyrics are fine if they're on the radio, but songs with lyrics in video games, you know what I'm saying? Like
It has to be a pivotal moment. It has to be the right moment for there to be lyrics. And I'm not saying people shouldn't be singing, but I don't want to hear words necessarily. Like a choir, maybe.
Like there's
choir music.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I like that. Like one of my favorite game soundtracks is Chaos Legion for PS2. Remember that game? Not a very good game.
Oh.
It was kind of a little bit of a Dynasty Warriors style game, kind of a RPG brawler, but I didn't like it. Well, I don't need to give a review of Chaos Legion, but the soundtrack is fucking amazing. And it had a lot of choir voices in it.
And this is gonna sound stupid, but I don't think there's anything in video games that is better represented by a song with lyrics in it than just with a song, just with a track that is more orchestral, I suppose. You know, like I don't know. I think lyrics detract from the experience of that game more than they add. Oh god. So this is
a real boss.
Yeah, this is. I have not beaten this boss before. I've died to her probably 5 times.
Wow.
This game is hard, by the way. You can see I'm just getting.
Are there a lot of
thrashed.
different random bosses?
There's just a couple so far.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it is early access.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I kind of don't like in roguelikes when there's the same element every time where it's just one boss every time. When you get to it's like a nuclear throne. When you get to 1-3, it's always Big Bandit, right?
Yeah.
Bandit always jumps out of the wall, and then in the third world you got I don't know what else is there. You got Big Dog. That's right.
Oh yeah.
You got the dog in the third world, and then the fifth world you got that blue guy that flies in and kills you every time in 5-3. Remember that?
Vaguely.
He basically ended every run. He was called Little Bastard or something. What was his name?
I don't remember.
Anyway. But yeah, that game always had the same boss. And then Gungeon, it picks from 3 bosses at least.
Yeah.
So it's a little different every time, but once you master all the bosses, it gets a little repetitive having the same setup. At least in the rooms in Gungeon, the way that they're set up it feels more random. It feels like you see the same room sometimes, but you very rarely will see the same room with the same enemy set up. So it feels different every time in the normal rooms, but the bosses always feel the same. Even though there's 3 bosses for every level, so it's a little better than having the same boss in every level like Nuclear Throne does. But it's even Gungeon, I would say, is a little bit repetitive in the boss department. Like ideally, which I know is not possible, I want there to be like 100 bosses.
Yeah.
So every time you get there, almost every time, it's going to be something new. Once in a while, you see the same boss, but it's going to be a boss that you're not going to be able to practice and learn every boss if there's 100 bosses potential at every point. But you just can't do that. There's just not enough manpower to make a game like that.
I guess the very few shortcomings that Gungeon has, one of them is that your run can live or die by the boss that you get. What was the name of the snake? The armored snake? If you got that boss, your run was over?
Oh yeah, the second level boss
Yeah.
that was the snake. Yeah, the snake can be pretty hard. I've no-hitted the snake a bunch of times. Like, sometimes I do really well against that snake. But yeah, he can fuck you over if he like closes in on you and you get it set up. He gets you set up in a way that you can't get out.
Yeah. And by comparison, the other bosses that you can fight in
Yeah, you can get the
second
Medusa.
floor
You can get that Medusa boss.
Yeah,
the
those
Gorgon.
are
The Gorgon's
nothing.
very easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gorgon's probably the easiest boss in the game, even easier than the first level bosses, in my opinion.
This is interesting. So we got some new weapons here. An electric pellet and a homing sphere. Switcheroo. Oh, so that's like a passive ability. We got another one called Spirit Branch. Magical pellets. Oh wait, no. But we have that. We just leveled up a little bit. We're going to unlock a passive effect. 5% to damage. Okay. So we leveled up a bunch of stuff. Yeah, the currency, the meta currency is just coins. And they drop pretty infrequently. I think we got 13 out of that.
I like a game that has a lot of replay value and a game that gives you a lot of incentive to explore the game. And one cheap and easy way to do it, one cheaper, I shouldn't say it's cheap, but one easier way to do that is to make it random, like a roguelike, right? So every time you play the game, it's a little bit different, but you see similarities each time. But every time you explore, it would take you 500 hours before you really get used to everything and feel like you've seen absolutely everything the game has to offer, because just everything gets shuffled in a way that still appears to be new to you. But you don't see hand-designed worlds that you could explore for 500 hours and not ever explore the entire thing. I don't know if that's... Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a waste of resources, because players don't play games for 500 hours.
Yeah.
Almost nobody does. Most players play a game for actually less than an hour, judging based on the achievements. I look on PS4 and I see the percentage of people that have gotten achievements in the games that I own, and you see just how little players are playing the games that they own.
You know what's coming out soon, though? That game that I heard of. It's called, what is it called? Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
That's the next 500-hour game. It's going to be a big one. Man, if you are an indie dev, I do not envy you if you're trying to release a game right now.
No, I wouldn't release a game near Cyberpunk 2077.
You know, Path of Exile delayed their next league because Cyberpunk delayed their release by 3 weeks. So Path of Exile delayed their release by 3 weeks.
Wow.
Because they don't want to compete with it. It's that big. It's going to be a juggernaut.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know if I'm going to play it right away when it comes out. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really that interested in The Witcher either.
No, I wasn't either, but there's something different. I feel like this is like the perfect confluence of several different forms of hype, and the hype is bigger than the sum of all those hypes.
Yeah, I mean, The Witcher was never a huge series until The Witcher 3, right? The Witcher's... And
I mean, yeah.
And now we've been long awaiting their next game.
Yeah.
And...
I think for a lot of reasons.
I mean, it looks awesome, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's got... Well, for one thing, it's got Keanu Reeves. That's a win in my book. But it's in a theme that isn't done nearly enough. You know, the futuristic cyberpunk world. And actually, I don't know much else about it.
Let me tell you something about Keanu Reeves.
He's great.
He is up to something.
I hate you. He's the most wholesome man in America.
I'm telling you, right now,
You're wrong. He's great.
all those donations he does and all that nice guy things you think about him,
How dare he?
you're wrong. It's all a front.
Okay, why?
He is, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this bit. I was just pretending.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, pretty much everyone likes him, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard not to like him.
Exactly, it's hard not to like him, so...
Even after you've seen him kill, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of men on screen. Have you seen all the John Wick movies? Have you seen every one of them?
I have not actually, but I've seen The Matrix enough times that I don't have to watch John Wick.
It's just how many men really need to die?
Oh, that is a good question. How many need to die? What's the answer?
It reminds me of the movies from the late 90s and early 2000s where it was just about killing a lot of men. Just a lot of men just get killed for no real reason.
That's just what they did.
They come up with an excuse, and then we spend the next 2 hours just watching a bunch of men get killed. And we enjoyed it. And they stopped making movies like that until the John Wick series. Sometimes you just want to watch a bunch of men fall down,
fall down.
You just want to watch them fall down, and then John Wick puts the gun up right in front of him and just pulls the trigger. And then he kicks a guy, he falls down, puts the gun up to him, pulls the trigger. And then another guy, he hits him with a book this time. Then he puts a gun up to the book and shoots a bullet through the book and kills the man.
Damn, it's dark. Are they making a fourth John Wick? They're not, right?
No, there is a fourth.
Oh,
yeah, there was a fourth.
What?
Yeah.
No.
That was actually the last movie I saw in a theater.
No.
Yeah.
John Wick 4?
Yeah, that was before the theaters shut down. Yeah, it had Halle Berry in it.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was a dog. A guy got his crotch bitten by a dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Halle Berry killed some men. John Wick killed some men.
I got nothing against Halle Berry, but why is she in it?
I don't know.
It seems like a strange thing. Look at all these carrots. They're chili peppers, though. I think they are. I think you're right. They're chili peppers. But they chase you. They chase you like a carrot would chase you. So that's yeah. That's why I'm right. And they also do explode. So we're doing okay here. Not great. Let's we're gonna get that health.
This game's almost like a psychedelic nightmare. Speaking of psychedelic nightmares, I recently had a hallucination, the second one of my life.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I've had 2 hallucinations in my life. I think I might have actually told my first hallucination story, but I'll quickly reiterate it here.
Herd hallucination. Is what you call it. Sorry.
I was sleeping and I woke up and I looked in the corner of the room and I saw a squiggle. Like if you open MS Paint, you pick the black color, you pick the pencil, and then you just move your mouse around really fast.
Yeah.
And paint like a squiggle, right?
Okay.
I'm sure everybody's done that.
Yeah, yeah.
And just imagine that, and then imagine you do that again, you do it again, and then it animates, right? So it's just like a bunch of like static effect of just a bunch of squiggles.
All right.
Of black line squiggles animating. That's what I saw in my eyes in real life. Awake.
You were awake.
I saw it.
How?
I opened my eyes and I saw it, and it existed in real life for 4 to 5 seconds, and it was really terrifying. And then it went away, and I never saw it again. And then it's been a couple of years since that happened. This time, This time, I same thing. I was sleeping. Woke up. I looked off to the side of the bed, and I saw essentially a flat screen, but it was floating in space, right? A flat screen, like almost like a cell phone, but larger.
Oh my God.
Like maybe 2 feet by 1 foot, and it was tall, vertical. A screen, a little bit blurry, but clear enough that I could definitely see what was going on there. And it was a very strange man looking in, very realistic looking man. And he had blonde hair. He looked a little bit like the Collector from the Avengers. Not exactly, but that would be the closest character I can think of. So if you know about the Collector from the Avengers movies, it looked like the actor and the character, the Collector. And he was kind of looking at it. Definitely wasn't the Collector, but it was a guy that looked kind of like that.
I'm dead.
And he was looking in on me, but he didn't say anything, and he was looking in.
That's terrifying.
And I saw him. He was there for maybe 5 to 10 seconds max, I would say.
And then what happened?
It disappeared. It just dissipated, and then I was terrified, and then I realized it wasn't real, but that I had just hallucinated it. So that was my second hallucination ever. I'm looking forward to the next.
Are you? Why do you think that happens?
I don't know. But it always happens when I wake up in the middle of the night from a frosty sleep.
Frosty?
So we died on a boss here.
Yeah,
but that seemed like a reasonable run.
It was okay. Terrible. Most of my runs so far, that's what happens. I've attempted like 10 missions, and I failed all but maybe 2 of them. This game is unbelievably hard. Maybe I'm just really bad at these games. Maybe I'm not doing the strategy right. Usually it's the bosses, though. The bosses just kind of wreck you. They have gigantic, unbelievably gigantic AoEs. Oops.
You shouldn't touch lava. You ever hear anyone say the floor is lava?
Yeah, that's a common thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a game that you would play when you were a child. You know what I mean? I want quick restart. Restart. Have you played The Floor is Lava? IRL?
We used to play Fight Game. We used to play something called Fight Game.
We did.
Ed and I. We were kids. It's essentially just wrestling, though. And I'm older than Ed, but one of us would always wind up getting hurt. Usually Ed.
Yeah. It's because you were so strong. You overpowered me and frequently punched me in the head.
I would never punch you in the head, but I do remember throwing you onto the floor many times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then one time our older cousin got involved.
Oh yeah.
And he did actually punch you in the head, and he knocked your tooth out.
He did. It was a baby tooth though.
Yeah.
So, no loss, no harm, no foul.
Did we tell that story on the channel? I think we told that story already. He gave us Ed gave Ed a copy of Zany Golf for Sega Genesis as an apology.
It was a double KO though, because not only was it Zany Golf for the Sega Genesis, it didn't even work.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad game, and also it didn't work.
So, was he really apologizing, or was he saying you deserve this? You got what was coming to you? You know?
Yeah. I remember one time, though, you kicked me in the mouth when we were playing Fight Game.
Oh, no.
And I got so mad.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, there's no reason to apologize. We're children.
Why? Yeah.
We voluntarily engaged in such a game.
Oh, no. Oh, come on. You take a lot of damage from things that I wish you didn't take damage from. I guess you just have to be constantly moving.
So speaking of childlike wonder, I was standing on my lawn, as I usually do, most days when it's sunny.
Okay.
And I was just pacing around my lawn.
That's a normal thing.
And I looked down, and what did I see to my surprise? But a small toad.
Aww.
Lost.
Aww.
And, well, he wasn't doing much, so I poked him with a stick to see if I could get him to hop, you know? He didn't do nothing.
No?
He just sat there. The most I could get him to do was blink.
That's what they do.
I was like, all right, I guess I'll leave him alone. But I would think he would get scared and try to hop away, you know? I was like, move along, little toad. I don't want to step on you.
They're pretty oblivious, though, I think. Frogs and toad, like in general?
Yeah, I guess they're pretty stupid. Well, anyway, he seemed to be fine, so I left him alone. He left me alone, and I went about my day. The next day, I was out on my lawn again, walking around. And I looked down, and what do I see but the same toad in the same exact spot?
No.
So at this point, I had to intervene. It was day 2 of this lost toad.
How do you know he was lost? What if he lived there?
On my lawn? There's nothing for him there. There's a creek somewhat close to my house. I assumed that he had hopped up from the creek and just got lost. So I took a box and a piece of cardboard, and I did the old cardboard trick. Caught him in there, and I took him down to the creek. Spent half the day rescuing this toad. I put him in the creek, and he just sat in the creek.
He would have been fine.
So I rescued a toad recently.
That's a nice thing to do. You're a nice boy.
I consider it rescuing. I don't think he actually wanted to be where he was.
What if he did, and you actually ended up doing him a gigantic disservice?
Well, screw him. I don't want him on my lawn.
Where's the other bad boys? Where's the bad boys? Oh, no. Yeah, but it's your lawn. You're not out there anyway. You got there for 10 minutes a day, right? Let him be. Let him be on your lawn. I'm telling you, I'm ordering you. You let him on your lawn. You should be so lucky to be graced by the presence of a toad on your lawn. Perhaps you disagree. Alright, so we're at the boss again. It's probably a different boss.
Is it going to be the same guy or is it a different guy? Nope, it's the same one.
This crazy lady who screams so loud. I don't believe how loud she screams.
I guess that's what you get for playing an early access game.
What do you mean?
You get the same boss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just took 3 hits and lost like half my health, but I am also just trying to tank this. But it seems like no matter how far you run, you always take damage anyway, so like why not just tank it? Like look how big when she goes to attack me, and look how big the AoE is.
Yeah, it's pretty large.
It's ridiculous. Okay, so now I'm down to a 3rd health. Where is she? She's right here. Okay, okay. Okay.
Jump.
Slide, slide. Maybe I'll get this? I got it. Somehow.
13 health left.
Yeah.
There's some extra health.
Although, the first game was often like this too. You would spend the entire level just preparing, and then the boss would either wreck you, or you would just barely survive. Get a new amulet. Let's do that. Get a new alchemy weapon. Let's do that, even though I think the run is over, because... What's this one? Frostbow. Oh, no, there's actually a 2nd floor. Alright.
Have you gotten a clear yet?
Of what?
Of this game?
Well, no.
Is there such a thing?
I don't know. Maybe. But I've only completed like 2 or 3 levels. I've made like 10 attempts and cleared 2 or 3 levels. But no, I mean, I haven't unlocked almost anything in the game yet. Of the sea.
Yeah.
Like they came from the ocean.
Yeah.
Which is not at all true. We're playing Ziggurat again. I think our frame rate's going to be okay. We just picked up twin fangs that look like this.
Alright.
Look at those twin fangs, dude. Rawr. We're playing more Ziggurat 2. Since last we played, they released an update. You know what it's called, Joe?
The update to Ziggurat.
It's called the damage numbers update. Because you know what I like? We're going to do this bit from the beginning again. Some people in a game, they like graphics. They like the sense of wonderment. They like the story. You know what I like, Joe?
Numbers.
I like it when numbers go up. I like it when numbers are there and it shows how hard you punched the guy. You know?
Maybe that's why you like clicker games.
That is probably exactly why I like clicker games. I'm gonna die. Because I like it when the number is larger than it was a second ago. And with this release, they've added damage numbers, so you can see what you're actually doing. But it kind of actually matters in this game, because there are certain elemental weaknesses and strengths that you don't necessarily know about unless you have those numbers. So it's actually pretty crucial, you know? And this was major update number 10. The game has been in early access for about 2 months, slightly less. And I've spent about 25 hours with it, and I gotta say, it is the most fun I've had with any early access title. Period. And I kind of had some expectation of that because... What was that? Oh, it was my dash. Because Ziggurat 1 was such a fantastic, you know, pick up, put down. Just Joe is controlling the game with the controller that's plugged in.
There's a controller plugged in. I was trying to see if it worked. If Ed's using keyboard and mouse right now, and I was just trying to see if the controller would do anything, and I was strafing Ed around a little bit, and he noticed.
How could I not notice? We've got a new spell. I hate this one. It's called Dragon.
This is Joe strafing Ed around a little bit. All right, there you go. Let's see if I can waste some of your ammo here.
Oh, dude! It's called Dragon Bile. It does that. It's a short range attack, which I do not appreciate. I do not appreciate, nor consolidate, nor pontificate.
And without further ado,
yeah.
On today's episode of Game Soup, we are going to be presenting you with the top 10 best-selling PlayStation 2 games of all time.
Oh, you know what? I bet I can guess. I bet I can guess easily in the top 10, probably not top number 1.
All right, just guess some of what you think is in the top 10.
Final Fantasy X is definitely in the top 10.
Okay.
Hands down.
Keep going. Keep
Metal Gear Solid 2 is hands down in the top 10.
Okay, keep guessing.
As well as Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay. Any other guesses before I read it?
What was big in the PlayStation 2 era?
You're missing a very big franchise here.
Sonic the... Don't tell me, don't tell me. Crash Bandicoot...
No.
FIFA! FIFA! It's FIFA! It's FIFA! It's FIFA! It's FIFA!
It's not, but let's go. Let's start from number 10.
Okay.
Number 10, Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I should have guessed.
Number 9,
Uh-huh.
actually it's a tie for number 8/9.
Okay.
Between Final Fantasy 12
Uh-huh.
and Tekken 5.
Tekken!
Number 7,
Uh-huh.
number
Final
7,
Fantasy 10.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh!
Ed got one.
Yep.
Congrats, buddy.
I got one.
All right,
Uh-oh.
now number 6. This is what I was trying to get you to say. Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, come on.
I mean, that's all there was.
Yeah.
Every GameStop had 42 used copies of Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, you know why they had used copies?
Yeah, because everyone, sold it to GameStop. They got bored of it. Because you could only be entertained by Grand Theft Auto 3 for 5 to 10 minutes.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in that category. Actually,
me too. Yeah, I was not a big fan of any... I've never actually been a big fan of Grand Theft Auto games. I think they actually did not get slightly competent. Grand Theft Auto 4 was where it got slightly competent. Before that, the games were awful.
Yeah. I hate to say that, but I actually bought Grand Theft Auto 3 brand new. And played about an hour of it, and it was just not my thing.
It's very boring. It's very boring, awful control, even for the time. There's really no excuse for why the only reason that game was, it was just very violent, and you could pretend to do very violent things to innocent people, I guess, and it was just very
the fact that
just terrible.
It succeeded in spite of its horrible control scheme.
So number 5, congrats, Ed. Final Fantasy X. Yep. Number 4, easy one, Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Oh yeah.
Number 3, this one's a little bit surprising. Gran Turismo 4.
Oh, that is surprising.
And number 2, Gran Turismo 3. Not that surprising, actually.
Why?
There was a lot of people love Gran Turismo 3. Leave it in the comments. Did you play a lot of Gran Turismo 3? Leave it in the comments.
I didn't know that.
I didn't personally, but a lot of people were into that game. It's a racing game. Number 1, another obvious one, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. There's more to the list. I guess I can quickly go through it. Number 20, Madden 2004.
Ew.
Number 18, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Uh-huh.
Tied with iToy Play. Number 17 was Jack and Daxter, the precursor Legacy.
Hold on.
Yeah, the iToy.
iToy was in the top 20?
Actually, that's a little surprising to me as well. I shouldn't have glossed over that. But yes, the iToy. I don't think anyone remembers the iToy.
How can it be in the top 20?
Yeah, exactly. How can it be in the top 20 and probably nobody even remembers that thing?
Wasn't that it was the Wii ripoff, sort of? It was Sony's response to whatever Nintendo was doing, which is what they ever do. You know, the only thing that Sony ever does is just repeat what Nintendo has done in the past. Now, I know I'm going to anger some people by saying that, but do you remember the Sony Move? What do they call it? The PlayStation Move?
Yeah. That was like Wii Fit.
Yeah, that's like their MO, is to look at something that Nintendo did.
Yeah, anything Nintendo does that's successful, Sony copies. Yeah, we all know that.
And the Kinect. Okay, good. So I'm not,
no, we're all on the same page here.
I'm not shooting wisdom here. I'm not shouting wisdom.
No, are you on a different page than us? Leave it in the comments. Are you on the same page as us? Leave it in the comments. Number 16, God of War 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
Number 15, Madden NFL 2005. Number 14, God of War. I was not a fan of God of War games. I thought they were incredibly boring. That was back in the day when games that were labeled as action games were actually just very boring games where you got lost.
And puzzle games. They were puzzles.
They were essentially puzzle games where you got entertained by killing enemies for 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even play that much God of War, but man, those were some puzzle games.
The Devil May Cry games were kind of like that too.
Yeah.
I did like Devil May Cry 2 a lot, but even that had its fair share of boringness to it. So, number 13, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh.
Number 12, Dragon Quest 8, which is probably number 1 in Japan. And number 11, Final Fantasy X-2.
Oh.
Everyone remembers that spin-off.
Do you?
Vaguely.
It was the weirdest.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
I
remember when it came out, though.
Yeah, you're not missing much. That was a strange game.
I'm just looking through the list. I'm just going to make some notable mentions here. Number 31, The Getaway, which was solely on the back of Game Informer, pretending that it was a good game.
I forgot about The Getaway.
Do you remember The Getaway?
Yeah. What do you mean Game Informer pretending it was a good game? What do you mean?
Game Informer gave it a 10 out of 10. A lot of the magazines gave it a 10 out of 10. That was I believe that was a massive... there had to be some kind of a payoff going on, because they must have paid a huge advertising fee, in quotes, to many publications, because if you look at the history, I bet if you go on the history of reviews, gaming reviews, and you look up The Getaway for PS2, you're going to see a lot of really high scores for a game that was not even mediocre. It was just straight bad.
No.
Oh, I played it.
How can that be? How can that be possible?
What
Joe?
you did was you would shoot a guy, and then he would shoot you. You would go behind a corner and wait for a while till your health restored. Then you go out and shoot the guy again. He would shoot you, and then you would go behind a corner and wait a while till your health restored.
Okay, but you're describing Mass Effect too, and that's also a fantastic game.
Well, this is all that you did. There was no strategy to it, and also the controls.
So it wasn't good.
they were worse than Grand Theft Auto 3. Do you remember the controls of Grand Theft Auto 3 as we just described?
That's why I stopped playing it. Yeah.
Well, it was that, but worse.
The Getaway.
Just try to imagine that.
Who even made that?
I think it was Game Informer themselves.
That explains everything.
the way that they talked it up at the time. Gosh, gaming was a different place back then.
That was not even that long ago.
All right, what do you think number 50 is on the top selling list?
What the hell? Who knows, dude?
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Oh,
What a great title.
I would never have guessed that.
All right, I'm just gonna pick out games that I like now.
All right.
Oh boy, these games suck. People had really bad taste in the early 2000s in gaming.
2000s was a weird decade.
Yeah, this is bad, man.
I mean, games were weird, you know? Games have come a long way, even in those past 10 years.
All right, here's one for you. Number 117, Resident Evil Code Veronica X. There you go.
Dude! That's blasphemy. That is actually blasphemy. It is the best Resident Evil game. Well, okay, that's not even true anymore. Compared to Resident Evil 4. It's the best classic-style Resident Evil game. Hey, so here's something I'm learning. I thought this attack poisoned enemies because he's green. You see how he's green? I thought he was suffering DOT damage right now. Damage over time damage?
Yeah, because you think he's poisoned. He's not.
He's green. He's not suffering DOT.
Yeah, I don't see his health going down even a little bit, even 1 pixel.
So, this is why damage numbers are important. And if you think I'm a loon for wanting damage numbers, this is my retort, my rebuttal to you. You know? Because you never would have known that he wasn't suffering dot damage. And how dare you not know that? What a terrible negligence.
That's where having too much knowledge of games is actually a detriment. Because some people, some people don't know what dot damage is, and they wouldn't even think, oh, he's green. It must mean he's more powerful or something.
What a horrible neglection of your duties to not know that, though. Like, what are you thinking? I died. It's your fault, Joe.
I see.
You did this to me.
So do you want to do another top 10 list, or do you want to end the episode? Because those are the only options that we have right now.
Let's, we can do one more.
I've got a good top 10 list for you. If you would like to know.
Alright. Well, hold on. Do we have any more interesting games to play? Or are we going to surf around for about 20 minutes trying to figure out what to play?
We'll probably surf around for 20 minutes trying to figure out what to play.
Do we have any good ROMs? What's funny?
You said ROMs.
Yeah?
That's always funny. It's always funny to joke about piracy.
Should we play Hades? No, we've played Hades a lot, right?
We played a few episodes of it. We can play Hades if you fucking want. If you fucking must play Hades, we'll play it.
We'll play one more round of this.
All right, we'll play another round of this, and I'll tell you the top 10 best-selling GameCube games.
Okay, I actually know this offhand.
All right, take your
number 1.
Put your guesses.
The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
Keep going.
Number 2, Resident Evil 4.
Keep going.
Number 3, Super Mario Sunshine.
Okay, keep guessing.
Number 4, Luigi's Mansion.
Keep going.
Number 5, I want to say Star Fox Adventures, but I know that's not true. Number 5, probably FIFA 2003.
Okay. Anything else? You're missing the most major title for the GameCube.
Bigger than Zelda?
Yeah.
Bigger than Mario?
Yep.
Wario World.
No. It's a very obvious one. I'm sure you'll get it if you think about it for 2 seconds.
There's no bigger franchise than Zelda.
There is. What franchise encompasses Zelda and Mario?
Nintendo!
And is a... I mean, I don't know how to give this away. It encompasses Mario, Zelda, F-Zero, Earthbound, Pokemon...
Hold on, you're telling me this is a franchise...
It encompasses all 5 of those franchises,
That is
yes.
an action-adventure racing RPG?
No, it's not that. But it encompasses... What else does it encompass? Fire Emblem... what other franchises does this series encompass? It's maybe the biggest series.
Final Fantasy.
Later installments of this title do encompass characters from Final Fantasy.
I feel like such a Ricky Ritardo for not knowing this. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm gonna guess.
Metroid is another of the franchises.
Oh, Metroid Prime. You're right. You're right.
Well, I wasn't talking about Metroid Prime. I was talking about one single game that encompasses Mario as well as Sonic.
Oh, Smash Brothers. Of course.
Facing off against one another.
Right.
All right, so you've gotten many of them, even though you needed many hints for number 1. Spoiler, that's number 1.
I was just going to say, I actually think Smash Brothers is number 1.
Yeah, okay, so number 10, Pokemon Coliseum.
Ew.
Number 9, Mario Party 7. Tied for number 7, Mario Party 4 and Metroid Prime.
What?
Number 6, Animal Crossing. Number 5, you were right, Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, wow.
Number 4, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
Oh, wow.
With 3 million copies. And then jumping way up to over 6 million copies.
Holy crap.
Super Million Sunshine.
Okay,
Super Mario Sunshine was a great title.
It really was. It's often seen as the black sheep of the franchise. I really enjoyed it.
Jumping up to number 2, Mario Kart Double Dash. Number 1, Super Smash Bros. Melee.
You know what we should do?
What? Emulate Super Mario Sunshine right fucking now?